Okay, so first of all, hi. I got a new haircut. Let me adjust this. Okay, I hope that's better. So I'm really excited because my agent has approved my outline for my next project. And as you all know, my book came out recently, Silver and Smoke. That is the last adult book I have under contract. And now that it's over, I have to start working on the next project, which might be an option for them or might go to a different publisher. But either way, I'm very excited about the concept. It's a literary thriller, which is a genre I've never written before. I'm really excited about challenging myself because it's something new and exciting. I have not drafted a whole book in like 2 years because mostly I've been editing these past 2 years. So I'm a little rusty on drafting a book, and I'm hoping that getting back into a rhythm of a daily word count might help. My goal is 2,000 words a day, which is actually a lot for me because I have a full-time job and I have a kid, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse because I've done it in the past, so I know that there's no reason this shouldn't work. But in order to keep myself accountable, I'm hoping that if I vlog about it or keep up a daily or some sort of weekly update, maybe that it will be a lot easier to keep this up and to keep myself accountable. Today is not the first day because I've been able to write 2,000 words for 2 days. So it's actually the third day. It's a really nice day. I'm on my patio for the first time in a long time. I really love writing outside, so this is a nice way to sort of get back into the rhythm of it. I will try to keep up updates, but life gets in the way and I don't want to be precious about my writing. So if I'm going to have to choose between writing or recording a video, I'll probably choose writing, but I'll try to do both. So hopefully this works. It's actually a little too chilly out here, and while I do have a fire pit, it's also fire season and I don't feel comfortable turning it on, so I'm gonna go inside. Okay, so I think a lot of people know this about me, but I have carpal tunnel and repetitive wrist injury from overworking, which I always find really funny as I'm making videos about work. But I have this machine. It's basically an electronic massager, and I attach it on my body or on my arms. It really helps me to write for longer without being in pain. And for longer, I mean like for more than 5 minutes, because without this thing, that's probably how long I would last. So it's really helpful and I recommend it if you also suffer from repetitive wrist injuries. I'm also going to show you guys my new crazy keyboard. This is the Ergo split keyboard, and it's not my first split keyboard, but it's my first like truly extremely ergonomic keyboard. So it comes split as in like somebody took a keyboard and chopped it in half. It's also got a curved structure, so that means that your fingers are not overextending themselves in any way as you're typing. I really love it so far. So let's get started writing. I'm gonna put you guys over here next to my pretty flowers that my sister-in-law and my husband got me for my book launch. So you'll be nice and comfortable and very pretty. That way I won't be too distracted as I'm writing. This is probably like the third false start that I'm working on in my book. And I like to call them false starts because that kind of takes the pressure off of the first pages being extremely perfect. There's always this stress that I feel when I'm starting a new book that the first pages have to really hook readers. And while that's true, writing it as a first draft is very stressful. So I try to take that off of myself. I did it! I got to 2,154 words. My friend is the one who told me about this website. It's called Wave Maker Cards, and there are like mind maps, planning boards, snowflakes, timelines, grid planners, and cards. And I haven't used many of the features yet, but just the fact that I'm using a different word processor that looks cute is actually helping my brain for some reason get into the mindset of this book, and I recommend it so far. But yeah, I made it to 2,000 words today, more than 2,000 words, and I am actually very hungry. My family will be home soon, so I'm gonna cook dinner and maybe edit a video or do some other stuff. But I'm actually just really happy. I feel really accomplished that I got to 2,000 words in about an hour. So hopefully tomorrow I will continue this. Okay, day 4. It is bright and early. Okay, I got to my job super early and I work at a library. We're not open yet, so I'm gonna use this time, take advantage of this empty library in order to do some writing. I have a cup of coffee already brewed and I need to go grab my things really fast, then charge into work so that I don't have to be stressed and anxious that I still need to do this word count thing. Okay, I'll be right back. First, gotta install my trusty electric massager so I can get some work done. I've never sat at this table before and the view is actually not bad. So that's the park where I take my daily walks and my runs. and I really, really love it here. I'm gonna get started now. 2,000 words, here we go. Quick update just to say that for some reason having the camera on me as I write is making me a lot more productive. Maybe because I'm trying to pretend that I'm writing. I actually do get a lot of writing done, so that's a plus. I promise that it's not all just pretend though. I really am getting a lot of writing done. I did it! I got to 2,179 words and I feel really good about this writing session. Since this is a first draft, sometimes when I'm writing, I don't know if I'm actually going to keep any of what I'm writing, but it's still really enjoyable when you have a good writing session where you just feel excited about what you wrote, and that's how I feel today. So I'm going to count this as a success. One thing I did want to mention about the keyboard is that the longer I go, the faster I try to write. I'm naturally a really fast typist because I've been writing for so many years, but with the new keyboard, there is a learning curve, and the more I write and the faster I want to go, the more mistakes I tend to make. So with this keyboard, it really forces me to slow down, which is kind of a good thing because then I actually think about what I'm writing instead of just like trying to vomit out words in a rough draft. But it's also a bad thing because I get really frustrated sometimes, but I'm still learning and I'm getting the hang of this keyboard. And today was a really successful session, so yay. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 5. Today is day 5, I think, and I've been trying not to put so much creamer in my coffee. I think I'm going to make it a rule where I can't put any creamer in my coffee unless I've written 2,000 words for the day. I have some time during my lunch hour and I'm going to go to a private room and work on the book. I forgot to bring my keyboard, the MoErgo one that I showed you guys last time, so I can't go to a private room because I can't type on my regular keyboard on my laptop. But I do have this keyboard that is at my office. I'm just going to pound out 2,000 words here instead. I don't like writing here because I prefer a separation between my day job and my real job, my writing job, but I am just going to plug my keyboard into my laptop instead and work from there. So it'll still get done, but not the way I wanted to, I guess. My desk is quite messy and there's nothing I can do about it because this is just the way I am. So yes, if you're wondering, this keyboard is mounted vertically. It is possible to type, but I do have a foot pedal that I use for my spacebar because I'm not really supposed to use my thumbs. Every time I say that, people are horrified because I feel like thumbs are what makes us humans. It's what separates us from other animals, I guess. But I have found that the foot pedal helps a lot to alleviate the pain in my thumbs and my wrists, so I highly recommend it. I did manage to write a little bit more. I wrote 1,514 more words for a total of 3,514, and I really could go on longer, but I'm feeling a little burnt out at this point. So I'm going to stop here and just call it a day. I decided to take a short break to watch the Super Bowl halftime, and Kendrick Lamar was amazing. I really enjoyed his music. I feel super accomplished about today and how many words I've been able to write. It's been a long time since I have hit over 2,000 or well enough about my writing to keep going. So I feel really proud and I hope to keep up this streak because I've noticed that the more I keep up a streak, the better my output becomes. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another writing session. Day 7. It feels like really hard to get started today because it's so gloomy and rainy outside, but I'm gonna do it. Today I woke up and I don't know what it is. I don't think I got enough sleep, or maybe it's just because the weather is just so gloomy and sad and I just want to curl up into a ball and read all day. I'm just gonna crank out 2,000 words really fast so that I can proceed to be a lazy for the rest of the day. I already made my mushroom coffee and it's time to get started. I've been feeling more productive just in my office with my regular split keyboard. There's no learning curve with this one since I've had it for a few years. So I'm just gonna stay here and try to get as much done as possible. I did it once again, got to 2,000 words, wrote a little more, like maybe 500 words more, and I earned my cup of coffee with creamer, and I was going to try to write some more, but I'm just like a little burnt out, honestly. So I'm going to just call it a day, and I have a lot of other work to do, and I might actually write my author newsletter for February, so I'm going to do that next. So this was day 7. On average, I was able to write 2,000 words a day. There was one day where I wrote 3,500 words, and other days where I wrote maybe a little more, like 500 or 800 words or so. I wrote about 16,000 words over the course of 7 days, which is not bad because once you get over that 20,000 word hurdle, it might get easier. It might, keyword being might. I'm very excited about how this draft is going, and I'm excited to finally get into the flow and back into a good creative output again. I think I'm going to end the video here, even though I'm not done with the book yet. I'm going to continue vlogging maybe next week because this video is getting long and I wanted to keep up a running streak, but I also like some sort of work-life balance, and tomorrow is my day off with my kid and I have some plans, and I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to write over the weekend. I will continue in the next video on vlogging this book and then give you guys updates on whether it sells and how it does with my agent and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.